Well, you got me down pat.
Hey, welcome everybody back to the True Crime Comedy Podcast, Murderess Podcast. I am your host, Sidney Smith, with my co-host,
Jamie Kamaya.
What up, Jay?
How are ya?
How are ya? Thank you so much for joining us on this podcast where we take a look into real-life murders committed by women. And before we get started, let me mention a couple of things. Please, if you could, go to Apple Podcasts. If that's what you're listening to us on right now, give us 5 stars. That would be awesome. Thank you very much. And a nice review would be kind of cool, too. And don't forget to check out our Patreon as well. Shout out to our folks who have been and continue to support us on Patreon. We do appreciate it. That does help us keep the podcast going. There's a lot of different moving parts to this thing, as well as moving parts to the live show that we're going to be doing tonight, which we will be getting into here shortly. You may have heard me saying, ho, 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 ho. That was me mimicking Jamie Kamaya's laugh over here because he just thought he was too funny.
Oh, I'm hysterical.
With the jokes over here. Jay, how you going, man? You good? Are you excited for tonight, brother?
Not at all, actually. Not at all.
My nerves are my nerves are going for tonight's show, actually.
Yeah, I get nervous before anything that's live.
I'm not nervous. I guess things are getting on my nerves because I'm not sure how perfect this is going to go. And if you've never met me, and if you ever do, the first thing I think you will find out is I like perfection.
OCD.
I am, and I like perfection, and I want this thing to go off without a hitch. The number one thing I guess I'm concerned with, if I can use that word, is how many people are going to come out to this thing. And I want a good number out.
Every time you're worried about it, there's a big crowd. Every single time.
Yeah, but there's going to be the time where I'm going to be worried about it, and it's not going to be a big crowd. But you see, here's the thing: I worked very long and hard for the position, and I don't want anything to step in the way of that. I guess. Does that make sense? Does that make way?
All right. Even if you hit a bogey once in a while. Hopefully it's not tonight, but if tonight's a bogey, like say tonight's a complete failure, just a complete utter failure.
Such a dick.
No one shows up. Your electronics break. Still, you get one bogey. You get one mulligan.
I am going to be very pissed off if that happens, and you know it. That's why you say that, you fucking dick.
Like if literally 4 people.
Would you stop it?
And it's staffed.
We've sold more than 4 tickets. So, but you know what? In AZ, people will buy tickets and not show up for an event. It's the weirdest thing to me that people will spend money on tickets and then not show up. I've seen it happen.
Oh, it happens everywhere.
I have seen it happen. For the folks out there who are coming out tonight, you won't be getting this until tomorrow. So after the event. In fact, everybody won't hear this until after the event. But when you do hear it tomorrow, thank you very much for coming out last night, which is actually going to be tonight.
You're confusing me.
Confused. You're always confused. Hey, one of the cool things is we got some Pop-Tart inspired drinks for the night, Jay.
Oh, nice. And I'm probably going to have one.
I'm sure you have a couple.
Or 3.
The Tip of Summer, which was inspired by our title, The Penis Tip of Summer. And I couldn't tell the club to call the drink The Penis Tip of Summer.
No, don't sell us short.
So I didn't want to do that. And then the other one, because it's inspired by your favorite Pop-Tart, brown sugar. It's called Jamie's Brown Sugar.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, so I thought
that sounds way better than the tip.
When the club reached out to me about the drinks that they had crafted, they asked me about names, and they said, "Well, you can talk to Jamie about it. We can wait till tomorrow." I said, "No way. I know what they're going to be right now," and I just named them. So I figured you would love the Jamie's Brown Sugar.
Jamie's Brown Sugar. That's how you got to say when you order.
No one has to say it like that. No one has to. I'm not ordering that drink like that.
It's Jamie's Brown Sugar. Super sweet, I bet.
Everything about you super sweet.
Of course.
You sweet piece of man, me, you. And the How Are You t-shirts in. We got a few that we're going to be selling tonight. And then you got yours and tried it on. It shows off your cuts.
My cut.
Oh, man. Your one cut.
So tight you can see the bumps of my nipples on this thing.
When the shirts came in, I couldn't wait to take the picture of it and send it to you and see what you thought. And you did something that I did not expect. And normally I think I'm pretty good at reading what people are going to do. But you did something that I didn't expect.
I caught you off guard.
You did. You complained about the spelling on a shirt that you actually did the spelling of.
Like, why would you do that? Well, you told me to.
I said, this dick right here. For people who don't know Jamie, when you get a chance to meet him, whether it be tonight or whenever, when you get a chance to come out to our next live event, Jamie is someone who loves to just critique.
I'm a devil's advocate.
You're a critiquer, and you critique.
Maybe this can be better.
And your favorite thing is to critique, but not really have a solution. There's something wrong with this, but I can't tell you how to fix it. And so, why I love it so much is because I also hate it. I hate when people critique and don't have a solution for me. And so when I send you the picture of the shirt, I'm like, Jamie's going to dig this. Here it is. He created this with his how are ya? And he picked the spelling of it. He says, we got to change the spelling.
So anyone comes to the show and wants these limited edition misprints.
They're not misprints.
You'll never see these again.
They are not misprints, man. I did want to talk to you about something, though, because I was talking with a buddy of mine yesterday, and he has his son is now graduating from high school, or has graduated from high school, and kid needs to get a job. But the kid is in no hurry to get a job. And my brother from another mother told this kid, hey, man, there's only two kind of people who live in this house, pretty much, those who work and those who go to school. And if you're not doing either, you got to get the hell out of here.
So, that's very fair.
I think it's.
I grew up in that atmosphere.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what I told him. I said that is absolutely very, very fair. There's few things, and I'm very proud of my brother from another mother for taking this stance, because there are few things I think that are more upsetting for a man to see another man, even if it's your child or your stepchild or whatever. When they become of age, you're now a man. And I think it's bothersome to see yourself getting up, going to work, and to see another man who lives in your house not doing the same.
Yes, no, it's freeloading is what it comes down to, and especially if it's under your own roof.
Right.
You don't want to put up with it. You're not going to work and then be like, why? And you're only holding someone to the same standard you're holding yourself to. It's not like you're being unfair.
Because there's been situations, we've all been through it, where you hit a bumpy road and you have to go back home. Of
course, everyone needs help. I've needed help at times, and I've helped at times.
Right. And I was going to say, going back home, there's been times I had to move back in with my mom. One time I had to move back in with my mom. I had lost my gig and couldn't find another. So I'm not going to get into all that. It's a long, long story. But I went back home. But my thing is always been try to almost appear like you're not living there. I don't want to upset the household as much as I can. I'm going to buy my own little portion, whatever food that I can afford. That's what I'm going to eat. That type of thing. I'm not going to, because with black people, especially, the first thing a black person would say, hey, don't fuck up my electricity bill.
Especially in Arizona.
That's the number one thing black people, when you have to go back home to your mama or they moved out, look, the lights are going to be off 8 o'clock tonight. Everybody shut the lights. Everything goes off.
I kill the power at the source.
You ain't going to be running up my electricity bill. That's the first thing black people are concerned
Go outside, there's a padlock in the box.
Brother, you are one step away from being right with that. I'm dead serious when I say that's the first thing that black people are worried about when they take on another adult in the house. And I think bills in general, utility bills in general, food, so on and so forth. Again, that's why I always had, when I went back home with my mom, I just found my little piece of the house. This is where all my shit is. I sleep in the bed, and, I might even stay in the room for most of the day doing what I need to do, trying to find a gig or get back up on my feet at that time. But just to be out of the way, not to upset,
of course,
the apple cart. You know what I mean? Because though they're letting you back in, it's not meant for you to be here forever.
Right. And you're probably more concerned about it than the people are taking you in. But I'm the same way.
Absolutely.
You never want to, you want to do for yourself. And even if you need a little help for a stretch, you still want to, it's like a pride thing, I guess, like dignity type of thing.
Well, and the other thing is I couldn't wait to get the hell out of my mother's house. So I never understand, these young adults or kids or however you want to classify them, not wanting to leave. I couldn't wait to leave my mother's house. I couldn't wait to be on my own.
Oh, yeah. I was the same way. I left. I came back. I mean, I stayed home until I graduated college.
Right.
I was a late bloomer. I was almost 24 when I graduated college, moved out, moved back home when I broke up with a girl, and then moved out again, and then that was it. I haven't been back since. I'm sure my mother's grateful.
Do you think it's the same way for girls as it is for guys? Or you think there's a different kind of pressure put on boys when they're being raised to kind of get out and get on their own? At least for our generation. I think this generation of kids now, I don't know if there's any type of any gas on the pedal for any of these kids now. But at least for us growing up, do you think there was probably more pressure put on the guys to get your ass up and get out and do something?
Yeah, you want to see, as someone who has a son, I want to see him grow into a man and act like a man.
Right.
Once the time is there. I feel like females are a little more mature, and I don't think the pressure's on them, but I think they like to go out on their own as well. And I think they're a little quicker to do it, and they're probably more prepared to do it when the time comes.
You know what? You make a great point. Women...
I always do.
No, you don't. But you did this time. That is something that I didn't take into account until I was older, partially because I was immature when I was younger, and part of it was just ego. But women or girls, period, just mature faster than boys do. They just do. There's a reason why more often than not, a young lady can be in a relationship with an older man and be able to hang on to that man and hang on to that situation. And I'm talking about a healthy relationship.
Right.
More so than if a young guy was trying to date an older woman. We're just not there mentally the way that they are. I shouldn't say the way we should be, because we are just what we are, but the way that they are.
No, I agree. And women are just more evolved than men.
And
they're the dominant species. Let's face it.
Well, I say that all the time. I tell people all the time. I say, look, man, I shouldn't say people. I tell young guys when I'm trying to give them advice that they're asking me for relationship advice. And first thing I'm going to tell you is your lady's smarter than you. All right. And she always will be.
No matter what you think.
No, she's not. She's not. Look, man, I've talked to older guys and who don't. I am telling you, that is your downfall right there. Not understanding you're not the smartest person in your fucking house. That's your downfall right there. They are smart. When you're sleeping, she's thinking. When you're eating, she's thinking. When you're watching the game, she's thinking.
That's why she feeds me so much. She's always thinking.
She's always thinking, bro. I said, why do you think they just ask you questions out the blue for no fucking reason? Why is the sky blue? Like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? Because she's thinking about something. Their minds are constantly working, and they're just smarter than we are to begin with.
Yeah, I can't argue that. I won't even attempt to argue that because she might hear this.
Well, I don't think she listens like she used to listen anymore. I mean,
every once in a while, I didn't think she was either. Then every once in a while, she'd be like, I heard you mention this on the podcast. Like, oh, you heard that, huh?
Well, she's doing better than my wife, because I'm pretty sure Tamara doesn't listen at all. So
she hits that subscribe button. Tamara.
She will be at the show tonight, but I've been doing a lot of this stuff for a long time. So she kind of picks and chooses her spots. When I was going on the road, she would pick and choose what spots she was going to attend based off the hotel that the club or whatever event organizers put me in. So where are you going? What hotel?
Did you say Hilton? All right, let me pack a bag.
I'm on my way. I'm going with you. Her favorite place was Pechanga Casino over in Temecula, California. She loved that place.
I've never been there.
Very nice hotel. Temecula is a very nice town. It's not like it's Vegas or anything. But the hotel is very nice.
What major cities are closest to?
Closest to San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah, so it's in the southern part of California. But yeah, it's right there. But yeah, definitely women are definitely smarter than we are. And I always give credit to my wife being smarter and more mature. I'm older, but she's more mature. And sometimes I'd like to cut someone's head off, and she kind of grounds me and lets me know I can't do that.
Listen, jail is not where you need to be right now.
I wanted to punch the guy at the Apple store last week, so...
Oh, yeah. Then you'd be permanently on Samsung after that.
And come get all your Apple shit out my house.
I could see you doing that.
What, punching?
No, throwing out, telling someone to come get your Apple shit.
Oh, bro.
Sure, that's your shit.
I was pretty close that night when I got home, just saying, that's it. Nothing else is Apple in this house. I'm getting rid of the tablet, the Mac, everything. We're going to Dale. We're going to whatever else.
Yeah, we're going to Dale. Hey, what's Hewlett Packard got for a tablet these days?
We're an HP family now.
What was the one that was the cow? The cow print?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was like, that was their image. The box the computer came in. It was always a print of a cow.
Wasn't that Hewlett Packard?
No, that was just plain old HP.
Oh, was it Dell? Was it Dell? Maybe?
No, that was dude. You're getting a Dell. I forget. Was the
was it Gateway? Oh, I think it was. I think you're right. I think it was Gateway. I think Gateway's little insignia had something.
Yeah,
like that type of pattern.
Cow, yeah.
I don't know if it was a cow. I think it was just kind of the pattern of their. I don't think there was any. It represented a cow anyway.
You could be right. I see what I see. My brain tells me what it wants to.
What's new with you? Tell you what you want to.
Nothing good. I'm thinking about getting a new Hewlett Packard.
You're going to the Apple store? You heard
I'm
bad
going to
things?
have to. I'm moving on from my current place of employment.
Oh.
And I've always had a job where they provide a laptop. So now I'm actually going to have to go buy a laptop.
You are the second person I've spoken to who has said they got to go get a laptop. And whenever I hear someone say that, I'm blown away by it because I always just feel like everyone's got a laptop.
Yeah. Oh, I've always had a job with one. So now my girlfriend's got one, but I kind of want my own.
But it's also the same thing I felt about vaccinations. When putting together this next film and doing the casting, I didn't even think about how I wanted to approach vaccinations on my set until an actress asked me, because I wanted her to be in it. She says, well, I can't get vaccinated because of some health issues she has. She said, so what are you doing about the set? Because I don't want to get it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Because I'm vaccinated, I hadn't even thought about it.
Yeah, me too. And that's a fair question that both of you have, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah, and I'm glad she did ask me while I'm in this step of putting everything together in the casting part of everything. And so, yeah, I'm thankful that by accident, everyone so far that's been casted is vaccinated. And
was that a requirement you had? Or no?
No, it wasn't. But it wasn't at that time. But it is going forward.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And the DP is vaccinated, and so is the sound engineer vaccinated. And so everyone, including extras, will all have to be vaccinated if they're going to be on this set. And it's, again, something I hadn't even thought about.
Yeah, no kidding. It's crazy. You think we're getting out of something, and we're not. I went to the grocery store today, and I walk in, and it was a good couple minutes before I saw someone without a mask. And I'm like, I thought we were over with this, especially in the town I live in.
I went out and watched. I went out yesterday. Tamara and I went out yesterday, and Tamara has to wear a mask every day because she's a school teacher, or not school teacher, but she's in the school district. She's at the district office now, and she has to wear a mask every day because she's in and out of the schools as well. I don't have to wear one every day, obviously, because I work from home. But when I go out for the last week or so, I am putting my mask on. To be honest with you, because of this Delta variant. And I was just talking with a good friend of mine yesterday, and I said, I really think we're going to get shut down again.
It's possible, especially in this state. And, I felt something like I wasn't right for like a week and a half. And I took an at-home COVID test kit that someone had. And it looked pretty official. It came back negative.
Yeah.
But who the hell knows if I'm doing that right? You know how accurate this at-home testing is. You didn't have to stick the swab 3 inches down your nasal cavity.
Don't cough on that mic.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm feeling much better now, and I've had the vaccination. So if I did catch something, I'm sure it would have been 10 times worse if I wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah, well, that's what they say, that being vaccinated, and folks, for people out there who are not vaccinated, that is your choice. I'm not telling you what you got to do.
I will not be finger wagging at anyone.
Yeah, this isn't finger wagging as you put it. This is just us having a conversation. But they do say in some parts of the world that if you are vaccinated, that if you were to catch it again for any reason, that it would be better for you. And that's kind of my thinking of it as well. I don't want to catch it again because, again, even as many months as we are or years we are into this, I still don't think we know all that we know.
Oh no,
that we think we do.
We go the assumption that there've been millions of vaccinations for viruses, and this is another virus. I guess I'm hoping that they'll be on the right track because this is something they've done before.
Right.
So, like someone said, well, look what happened with the anthrax. I'm like, well, this is not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not me. Again, I don't know any better. That's just me thinking about what may or may not happen down the road.
Well, again, I think we're going to get shut down again. I hope we don't because I don't want to be again, but I feel like we are. And a friend of mine I was talking to yesterday, I was expressing that to him. He said, well, why do you feel that way? I said, we haven't even hit winter yet.
Yeah.
And the kids are back in school, and we know the kids pick up everything.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I'm praying to God that we don't, for a lot of different reasons, economic reasons. I'm a small business owner myself, so I don't want those issues. I don't want my project stopped. I don't want the club shut. All those things that would affect me as well. But I really don't want to go through another season of watching people die like we did before. So I'm hoping that we don't.
It's happened in droves right out of the gate. It's just really scary.
Yeah, and we lost someone in my family a couple of weeks ago, so that's still a devastating thing especially for my wife. And so just don't want to see anyone else going through that if we can help it. But again, if you do your thing, you do you, Murderess Accomplices. If you want to get vaccinated, do it. If you don't. It's up to you. You have that choice, unless you fall under Joe Biden's mandate.
Yeah, so what is it? If you got 100 people or more in your company, everyone's going to get... Is that what he said?
I just know about the government employees. Was there something beyond that with the...
I heard it was like businesses that have a certain amount of employees.
You know what? You are right. You are right, because we did see something on the news where they were saying some business owners are happy about that because it takes it off their plate.
Yes.
Because now they can say, hey, it's not it's the government coming in saying. So
and I get that, and I feel for the businesses that have to enforce that, but at the same time, I guess I have an issue with being forced to do something. I'm vaccinated. I wish people would, but forcing someone to do something is regardless of what it is, doesn't even matter what we're talking about. I guess I have a bit of an issue with that, and he needs all the governors to back that. He needs, because I don't know if this governor will back that or enforce that. If the governors doesn't enforce what he's saying, who's going to?
Right. All right, well, let's not get down this slippery slope of politics. We want to get back to having a little bit of fun here.
Vote blue. No, I'm kidding.
And I don't want to say fun. Maybe fun's the wrong word because we're getting ready to talk about people getting killed. So fun's, but let's get back to the purpose of the podcast. Thank you guys again for listening to us here on Murderous Podcast. And again, thank you to the folks who are coming out tonight, though you are hearing this on a Thursday. This week's Murderous is Debra Brown.
Don't. Where was the intro?
No, my team
doesn't do intros.
No. That was the intro.
No, that was not much of an intro.
Well, my team doesn't do cheesy intros.
You should have let me get that intro on there. It's kind of our thing.
It's got a who's thing. It's kind of
it's our cheesy intros is our thing.
Is that a okay?
Like a fun fact.
We'll do the intro.
It's a fun fact that we have cheesy intros. I don't know anything about her. I'm going in cold.
I know, but your intros always seem like you don't know anything about the story anyway. So.
I give you a little peek behind the curtain every time I make an intro.
Okay, she was mentally impaired. So go ahead. I'll give you that.
Oh, no, you can't ask me to
go for it.
Make fun of someone who's mentally impaired off the top of my head. That won't go well.
If your team had wrote this, that's what you would have did.
We'll lose listeners. I would have found a nice little cute way to dance around it.
So now we were going to lose listeners because of your intro? I thought
well, no, if you want me to just off the cuff make fun of someone with a mental problem.
I tell you what, I hope you do better than this tonight.
Oh, boy.
The show, a lot of weight on you tonight for that show.
I should be there. I mean, I just got to check my calendar.
So can I go ahead and start this?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, thanks. So this week's Murderess is Debra Brown. Debra Brown was born in 1962 in Waukegan, one of 11 siblings. Brown was borderline mentally retarded, suffered head trauma as a child, and was described as a dependent personality. And with all that said, she was from a stable background, had no prior criminal record, and when she first met Alton Coleman in 1983, was engaged to another man. Eventually, she decided to leave this boyfriend and family to move in with Coleman and provide home care to the latter's grandmother.
Oh, well, that's nice of her.
Although a willing participant in the assaults and murders, Brown was never violent or in trouble with the law until she met up with Coleman.
Blame the guy. Here we go.
In 1983, Coleman was charged with rape and murder of a 14-year-old girl who was the daughter of a friend. It was at this point 28-year-old Alton Coleman, along with his girlfriend, 21-year-old Debra Brown, fled Illinois and began their brutal rape and murder spree across 6 Midwestern states.
Well, this took a turn. Wow.
They're quick.
From taking care of Nana.
By the time the couple were caught, Coleman was charged or wanted for questioning assaults on at least 20 people in 13 separate attacks, including 7 murders. Almost all of the victims were African American, like Coleman and Brown. But the authorities said that was simply because the duo knew they would blend better in the Black community and that there was no racial motive in the murders. And so one of the things that kind of pulled me into this one, because I looked at 3 or 4 different options last night on what we should do today, was the fact that you kind of nailed it, was that each time we do a murderous where there's a man involved, it seems like they try to put most of the weight on the man.
Yeah, like that. What's that syndrome? Munchausen syndrome or something?
Right. So that kind of pulled me in with this and got me really wanting to read more
Stockholm.
about him.
Sorry, Munch is when you think you're sick. Stockholm.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Stockholm. But really pulled me in to kind of want to get more detail into what was going on with her. So in May of 1984, the crimes began. And when Coleman befriended Juanita Wheat, who lived in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with her 2 children, Vernita, age 9, and her 7-year-old son. In early May, Coleman, introducing himself as a nearby neighbor, befriended Wheat and visited her and her children often over a period of a few weeks. On May 29th, Wheat gave permission to Vernita to go with Coleman, and I'm still blown away by this, to his apartment to pick up stereo equipment. Alton abducted Vernita to Waukegan, Illinois. Her body was discovered on June 19th, 1984 in an abandoned building 4 blocks from Coleman's grandmother's apartment. The body was badly decomposed, and the cause of death was ligature strangulation.
Oh, that's just awful. That's a dirtbag.
Well, and so, yes, very, very much a dirtbag. And I want to say that was the one where they held her down, and Debra held her mouth over the girl's hands, or held her hands over the girl's mouth and nose while he stumped her in the chest.
Oh my God, this is so.
And then they strangled her.
Ugh, I'm already disgusted at the 2 of these.
So and then on May 31st, so he's got to keep it going here.
Usually you have a build up, man. Like this is right to the climax.
Hey man, you got to get. Well, don't say climax with me on.
Oh, but you got me.
I did not get you.
This is all. There's no foreplay here. Just
okay. All right. Can we?
Right to the.
You're a smart guy. You can.
Hold on. I need a drink.
No, you don't need a drink. No, don't light that cigarette.
Oh, all right. I'm fine. Let's go.
Good. All right. So May 31st, 1984, Coleman befriended Robert Carpenter in Waukegan, Illinois, and spent the night at his home. The next day, he borrowed Carpenter's car to go to the store and never returned. June 1984, Coleman and Brown appeared in Gary, Indiana, where they encountered 2 young girls, 9-year-old Annie and 7-year-old Tamika Turks. Tamika's partially decomposed body was discovered on June 19th, 1984. The cause of death was ligature strangulation. Annie survived even though she was sexually assaulted by both Coleman and Brown.
Oh, she made it? The 9-year-old?
Yes. The day Tamika's body was found, they had befriended Donna Williams, 25, of Gary, Indiana. On June 11th, 1984, Williams' badly decomposed body was discovered in Detroit, about half a mile from where her car was found.
That's where you're from.
It is. The cause of death was, again, ligature strangulation.
Oh, he's consistent.
I was going to say, so we're kind of seeing a modus operandi here.
Whoa, check out you.
Well, every once in a while. June 28th, Coleman and Brown entered the home of Mr. and Mrs. Palmer Jones of Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
They sound old.
Palmer was handcuffed by Coleman and then badly beaten. Mrs. Jones was also attacked. Coleman ripped the Jones phone from the wall and stole their money and car. Excuse me there, folks. Just scrolling through here. I want to make sure I got everything in order here.
That's right. Is this where you want me to fill?
Yeah, that would have been
a good opportunity right there.
Sure.
I'm getting better.
No, dude.
I recognized it on my own this time.
You recognized it on your own and did nothing about it.
The silence was deafening. I need to speak.
I hope you're better than this tonight. The day after Independence Day, 1984, Coleman and Brown came to Toledo, Ohio. It was the
day before my birthday.
Where Coleman befriended Virginia Temple. I like that these little facts you just dropped.
They're all about the fun facts.
Where Coleman befriended Virginia Temple, the mother of several children. Her eldest child was Rochelle, age 9. When Virginia dropped off communication with relatives, they became concerned about the children and entering the home found the young children alone and frightened. Virginia's and Rachel's bodies were discovered in a crawl space. A bracelet was missing from the home and later was found in Cincinnati under the body of Tony Story. The cause of death of both Virginia and Rochelle.
Let me guess. Can I guess? Ligatures.
Strangulation.
Well, you strangle with a ligature.
Well, no, I think ligatures is what's left over after strangulation, isn't it?
No, the ligature is whatever you use to strangle.
I don't think that's what it is.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
A ligature is something.
I don't. Well, you're right.
That you
strangle. You're right. I'm saying ligature. I'm thinking ligature marks. So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Left by ligatures.
The same morning, I'm gonna leave you with some ligatures. the same morning as the murders.
I might like that.
Okay. All right. The podcast is 32 episodes in. That final episode. The same morning, Valia, give your man some sex. The same morning as the murders of Virginia and Rachel, Coleman and Brown entered the home of Frank and Dorothy Duvedek of Toledo, where Coleman proceeded to bind the couple with appliance and phone cords, which had been cut. Coleman and Brown took the money and the Duvendak's car. One of Mrs. Duvendak's watches was stolen and found later under another victim. I should have.
Sounds like the name of the watch was a Duvendax. Did you confuse that there?
I did not, but I should not have used so many Duvendak's. Later that same day, Coleman and Brown appeared at the home of Reverend and Mrs. Millard Gay of Dayton, Ohio. They stayed with them in Dayton and then accompanied them to Lockwood, Ohio on July 9th to religious service. On July 10th, the Gays dropped off Coleman and Brown in downtown Cincinnati. By this time, Coleman had come to the attention of the FBI.
Would you rather be killed or dropped off in downtown Cincinnati? I think it's a toss-up, isn't it?
It's not really a toss-up. It's close, but I'd rather be dropped off downtown.
Like outside the Bengals Stadium. You want to die or go in and watch that game?
Well, right now it wouldn't be too bad. Joe Burrow's slinging it around.
They want to know, right?
Yeah. So it wouldn't be too bad. But you got to be careful when you say toss-up, because that's like, I don't care which one happens. No, it's close. But I'm taking downtown Cincinnati.
You'd probably die anyways if you got out there. It's a rough town.
What's with you in Cincinnati? Why are you shitting on Cincinnati?
I've never been there. I have no reason to.
It is in that state of Ohio, which I don't care all that much for. But.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've never really been to Ohio, so I have no reason to say anything bad about any of them.
I will tell you this about Ohio. It is one of the longest drives. If you're driving north through Ohio, it is one of the longest drives that you'll ever make.
How long is long?
Long.
Like it's a boring ride. Huh?
It is a boring ride. Well, driving through the Midwest is kind of boring because it's just a lot of flat land, farmland, that type of thing.
So not a lot of Jack in the Boxes.
No. I think Jack in the Box finally made their way back east a few years back, but no, it's not a lot of them.
That's unfortunate.
Okay. So Coleman and Brown bicycled into Norwood, Ohio on July 13th at about 9:30 a.m. Less than 3 hours later, they drove away in Harry Walters' car, leaving Harry Walters unconscious with his wife, Marlene, dead.
Oh, he killed the wife, but not the guy?
Yeah.
So Harry behind witnesses.
Yeah, so Harry survived. He testified that Coleman and Brown inquired about a camper he had put up for sale. Walters sat on the couch as he and Coleman discussed the trailer title. Then Coleman picked up a wooden candlestick and, after admiring it, hit Harry Walters on the back of the head. Let me tell you something. If you're at my house and pick up a candlestick, I'm not turning my back on you.
If you pick up anything that could hurt me,
I'm turning back. I mean, you're a stranger.
I sold a trailer recently. I wouldn't even give the guy my number.
I've never seen a grown man admire a candlestick, so that would have thrown me for a loop right away. Would you like a candlestick? No.
Yeah, maybe he's like, "What is this? I've never seen a candlestick before," because no one really has those.
You don't see men just admiring heavy wooden candlesticks. So this guy turned his back on Harry Walters there and got clinked in the head. The force of the blow broke the candlestick and drove a chunk of bone against Mr. Walters' brain. From that point on, Mr. Walters remembered little else. Sherry Walters, Harry and Marlene's daughter, came home from work at about 3:45 p.m. and at the bottom of the basement steps, she found her father barely alive and her mother dead.
Is this like an episode of Clue? I feel like this is where you're going to trick me at the
Colonel
end.
Mustard.
It was Walters with the candlestick.
But both of them had ligatures around their necks and electrical cords tied around their bare feet. Her mother's hands were bound behind her back, and her father's hands were handcuffed behind his back. Her mother's head was covered with a bloody sheet. The coroner indicated Marlene Walters had been struck on the head approximately 20 to 25 times.
Ouch.
12 lacerations, some from which were made with a pair of vice grips.
Oh, my God.
Covered her face and scalp. The back of her skull was smashed to pieces. Parts of her skull and brain were missing.
Missing? Like they took it with them?
Yeah, some of the information I was looking at, it talked about there being disfigurement to her face with the vice grips as well.
Oh, that's. I'm ready for the part where they get the death sentence.
So the living room hallway. Who says they get the death sentence?
I'm hoping.
The living room hallway and basement were splattered with blood. Fragments of broken soda bottle bearing fingerprints were found in the living room. Strands of Marlene Walters' hair were found on bloodstained magazine rack located in the living room. Bloody footprints made by two different kinds of shoes were found in the basement. The family car, a red Plymouth Reliant, when the last time you seen one of those, was gone.
A red Plymouth Reliant. Well, Plymouth doesn't even exist anymore.
They don't.
My Reliance.
They don't, yeah. Money, jewelry, and shoes had been stolen, left behind with two bicycles, clothes, and shoes. So they rolled up on 2 bicycles, asking about it. That would have, why are you riding? You want to ask me about a camper, you on a bicycle?
Yeah, see, I'll just take off the back wheel and pedal this camper home.
Well, again, but they're an older couple, and they're probably, just very, very kind people, I would imagine. They were very kind people. I felt like most nice people normally don't expect other people to be mean.
Roll up on a bike with enough money to buy a camper.
Like, my wife is super nice. I always have to remind her, everybody's not super nice.
Yeah.
Stop walking out the store with money in your hand.
That's good. We don't want her to stop buying Pop-Tarts, though.
Is this where you kiss my wife's ass?
We got to find a happy medium.
Yeah. There's no happy medium. She needs to stop buying the brown sugar Pop-Tarts until I can hide my Pop-Tarts.
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, well, kind of. So 2 days later, the Plymouth showed up abandoned in Kentucky. The couple then kidnapped Oline Carmichael Jr., a Williamsburg, Kentucky college professor, and drove back to Dayton with their victim locked in the trunk of the car. On July 17th in Dayton, they abandoned his stolen vehicle, and Carmichael was rescued by authorities.
They leave a lot of witnesses.
They do. Well, not a lot, a couple. A smattering.
A dollop of witnesses.
So he and Denise reappeared at the home of Millard and Catherine Gay. The Reverend Gay recognized Coleman, who was by this time the subject of a huge nationwide manhunt. And he and his wife were...
I know you.
He and his wife were accosted with guns. It was a little late for you to recognize him now. The Reverend Gay asked Coleman, why you want to do us like that? Like this? And according to Gay, Coleman responded, I'm not going to kill you, but we generally kills them where we go. Coleman and Brown took their car and headed back toward Evanston. For people out there who were listening to us, that is not a misspelling. That is a quote. I'm not going to kill you, but we generally kills them where we go.
Kills them, huh?
Kills them.
I'm like, you don't normally talk like that. But
I do that. I had to read it that way. On the way back home, they take time to steal another car, killing this 77-year-old man who owned it. And he's quoted as saying, see, I told you.
We kills them.
I made up the quote. I just kidding. Say that. But does it sound like he would, so? See, I told you.
Told you. You thought I was kidding? No.
We normally kills them. So by the time the authorities caught up to the deadly pair on July 20th, 1984, they had committed at least 8 murders, 7 rapes, 3 kidnappings, and 14 armed robberies.
That's quite a count.
That's putting some work, and that's only in a few months.
Yeah, that's a stack of terrible shit right there.
After careful consideration by the authorities from 6 states, it was decided that Ohio would be the best place to prosecute the pair because of its death penalty.
Oh, yes.
Both were found guilty of murder of Tony Story and Marlene Walters and received the death penalty.
Oh, joy. Something good out of this.
So the profile that was done, and I found it interesting, I wanted to add it in, was done by John Douglas's Investigative Support Unit. And they were called in, and during the manhunt, they were called in and asked for a fugitive assessment. It seemed pretty clear that Coleman was the dominant personality of the duo, and that he was prompted to embark on an interstate rampage when stress caused by his court appearance became unbearable to him. From his background and rap sheet, Douglas was able to deduce that what motivated him were his fantasies of sexually dominating and controlling other people. Because like many other serial rapists, this is what made him feel good and satisfied in his life. A satisfaction he certainly didn't get from personal accomplishments or relationships. The fact that most of his violence was directed against other blacks spoke of the essentially sexual nature of his crimes, rather than some general rage against society, which was also there and showed up in later acts. For instance, while beating Mary Billups and Marion Gaston, he went into a delirious tirade about how blacks were forcing him to murder other blacks, as if that could somehow explain and justify his actions. Since all he ever knew was a life of lawlessness from early age, Coleman was able to assimilate his sexual crimes into a way of providing to himself, like if it was his own job. That's why he robbed and carjacked his victims in addition to raping, beating, and killing them. Also, profilers correctly deduced Coleman couldn't stay away too long from someplace he found familiar or secure. Once he was out of Waukegan or the Chicago area, he was out of his element. In fact, they even predicted the highway he eventually took back home. For what concerns Brown, whom Douglas personally interviewed in prison, he found her to be a very passive, compliant person who would be defined by whoever was influencing her. Her relationship with Coleman was almost one of slave to master. On the other hand, she never displayed any evidence of conscience And if again put under the influence of someone like Coleman, Douglas thought she could even resume where she left off.
Well, she was mentally challenged, right? We knew that from the beginning.
But the reason
that's not an excuse.
No,
she's easily manipulated. I think.
Well, the thing that stuck out for me, though there was a lot of good information in there, and I was impressed that they were able to already predict what highway he would go on. Now, not that there's a lot of highways to take in and out.
I predict the Kangamangus.
It's going to be I-10. All right, just take it easy. We all drive the I-10. Was where he discusses Debra Denise Brown. Her mindset was one of no matter who she would have been with, she would have mimicked whatever he wanted. That guy to mimic.
Probably she found a little bit more of a positive influence in her life, maybe. But I mean, if she again, not to harp on it, but mental illness is usually you're kind of on a certain path from that point in terms of a relationship. Like you're probably gonna be with somebody else who has a mental illness, or you might not even be in a relationship at that point.
And good points. You may be right about that.
I'm always right.
And then in prison, Coleman was diagnosed with mixed personality disorder, displaying antisocial, narcissistic, and obsessive features, with additional diagnoses including epileptic spasms, psychosis, and borderline personality disorder.
Sometimes I kill, but sometimes I don't kill.
Brown was diagnosed as a borderline intellectually disabled with dependent personality disorder. So in 1984, in Evanston, Illinois, someone from Coleman's old neighborhood pulled up to a red light. As he waited for the light to change, he and Brown cross the street in front of his car.
Oh, no.
He only knew Coleman casually, but did recognize him. As Coleman and Brown continued walking west, the witness drove to a gas station where the police were notified. The information was dispatched and the description of the two was broadcasted. As officers pulled into the area, a detective saw them both sitting on probable bleachers in an empty Mason Park, but noted they were wearing different T-shirts. The detective informed the units just as two sergeants were driving by the park. As they heard the broadcast, they turned and saw the two. As Coleman was approached, the officers observed Brown walking away from Coleman toward the rear of the park. The detective joined the two sergeants and Coleman was approached for questioning. She was searched when they caught up with her. She was searched and a gun was found in her purse. Coleman had no identification, but he had a knife stuck between two socks he was wearing. A steak knife.
That's terrible, dude. 2 socks.
That's what's terrible.
Oh, wearing 2 socks. You know how tight your shoe's going to be?
A week after they were arrested, more than 50 law enforcement officials from Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio met to plan their strategy for prosecuting Coleman and Brown. Michigan, which does not have the death penalty, and we do not have it there, was quickly ruled out as the place to begin, and eventually Ohio was given the first shot at the alleged spree killers. We are convinced that prosecution in Ohio can most quickly and most likely result in the swiftest imposition of the death penalty against Coleman and Brown, U.S. Attorney Dan K. Webb said. Now get this. In Ohio, Coleman and Brown were sentenced to death in each case of the aggravated murders of Marlene Walters and Tony Story. During the sentencing phase of the trial, Debra Denise Brown, sent the judge a note which read in part, "I killed the bitch and I don't give a damn. I had fun out of it."
How did she get that note? How did a lawyer allow that note to pass?
I knew you were going to say a question I had. I don't know how the note even gets to the judge.
Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird.
Because it doesn't give you any more information on when it was passed or how it was passed.
Was she like, psst? Like, I feel like, psst, psst, take this. It's for you.
She wrote the note that she
give it to the bin. Give it to him.
She folded it into a Chinese star and threw it across the room to the judge.
Like a little paper football, and she flicked it.
Oh yeah, one of those. I used to hate that game.
Oh, I was a champ.
That game was so stupid, just flicking paper.
Of course it was stupid. That's why I was good at it.
Oh my God, I hated that game as a kid. So in separate trials in Indiana, both were found guilty of murder, rape, and attempted murder and received the death penalty. He was killed. Actually, first, before we get that, I apologize. Coleman also received 100 additional years, and Brown received an additional 40 years
on top of death.
On top of death.
Seems a little bit overkill.
For kidnapping and child molesting. Alton Coleman was executed April 26, 2002.
Good.
Brown's death sentence in Ohio was later commuted to life because of her low IQ scores and her nonviolent history prior to meeting Coleman. and her dependent personality, making her susceptible to Coleman's control.
You know, I think I vaguely remember seeing the story like years ago. Like I'm talking 20-something years ago. I remember this story, and I don't remember where I saw it, like what capacity I was watching it. I just remember on TV, and I remember this couple, and they said they took this many lives, and now 6 states sought to take theirs. And I remember that line sticking with me. And they talked about how she never left, she never ratted on him, never said shit about him, like was by his side to the very end.
I know from my research that from my part of research anyway, that there were several, and I'm not saying this is where you saw it, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. There were several episodes from Criminal Minds where they kind of pulled bits and pieces from this story.
No, this was way before Criminal Minds was even a show. This is like America's Most Wanted or Forensic File, like that type of show.
Got you. And so right now, Debra Denise Brown is currently in the Ohio Reformatory for women. And she still faces the death penalty in Indiana, though.
So she could still get it?
No, she can't, because I didn't add it to this because I didn't want to keep the story too long because we have a show for tonight to get prepared for. But I believe there's a total of 140 years that she's got to do in Ohio before Indiana can even see her.
Oh, I see. That's weird.
So there was, because I believe they made it, you couldn't give life. It was illegal to give life. But she could no longer be on death row because of the change. But all of the years for her crimes totaled up to 140 years. So essentially, unless something crazy was to happen, Indiana would never see her.
Yeah,
in any chair.
Unless like the Supreme Court overrules something, which I doubt they will. They got their head. They got one of them.
I'm not happy. She was the only woman left on death row when her sentence was commuted.
Interesting. None in Texas, huh?
No, there's no commutation in Texas.
No,
you forget about it. That's a wrap. That's why I don't drive to Texas.
Good call.
I don't take any chances, sir. No chances. I know I didn't get as deep into it as I normally do with the story. And for anyone out there who normally enjoys it, I do apologize. But I was not happy about her sentence being commuted because she had low IQ. Because I think the letter, the note she sent to the judge, on top of everything she did, was enough for me to say that she was doing.
You were asking for it. You are asking for it. You're like, go ahead, test me. Like, I don't know. She was smart enough to know what she did was wrong.
The other thing that bothered me, again, I did not add this in, but the families of the victims of the one small child was not notified that she would not be serving or she would not be getting the death penalty now. They had to find out like everyone else found out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that was no good either. The mother wasn't very happy with it, and I'm paraphrasing her. She said, Alton was put to death, and she was there committing the same crimes he was. She should get it too.
Of course.
And I couldn't agree more. And I was very happy that she took that stance as opposed to some other stories we've done where the people have taken a stance of, well, I just want to forgive and forget it. And
no, this person was just cold-hearted to the bone. I mean, yeah, she wasn't bright, but was there a lot of, I don't remember you reading anything about abuse in her life, right?
No, again, she came from a normal home.
Yeah. And
she was engaged to another man, actually. And she broke up with him to be with this guy. So, obviously she has some issues, but I don't know if low IQ scores should be a reason why you don't get the punishment you deserve.
No, because, I mean, if you have the capacity to hunt and kill people, steal from them, and then
children
get away, children like you, you know enough.
There was a case where they killed one child and they forced the other child to have sex with the both of them.
Yeah, that's just death all over it.
Yeah. So, but I've been Sidney Smith,
Jamie Kamaya.
Thank you guys for checking us out here on Murderous Podcast. About the story you just heard, we sourced it from Wikipedia, Murderpedia, off2dr.com, indiestar.com, and criminalminds.fandom.com. From Sidney Smith Creative, this has been Murderous Podcast. If you like our show, be sure to tell your friends and family. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you're listening right now. Leave that 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Also want to let you guys know, just in case possibly, because the team and I will be getting ready for tonight's show. It may be a late upload, so if it is, we do apologize ahead of time.
I don't apologize.
Remember, you could also support the show and receive bonus content on patreon.com/Murderous Podcast, Murderous Podcast.
Get what you get.
Remember,
I'm kidding. Please listen.
Yes. Remember, be aware of your surroundings, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.